All right, everybody, and welcome to the first episode of RR After Dark. Really quick, this podcast is all about Racing Revolution, where we are a iRacing league. iRacing is an online subscription simulator for everything racing. Joining me today, we have fellow admins, myself, Nick, Kevin, Justice, Trevor, and we have special guest Michael Bennett, aka Bennett. Boys, anything you guys want to say before we kick things off?
Nah, good to be here. It's ought to be fun. I think we're gonna have a little fun explaining to everybody what we do. So this will be interesting.
All right, all right. Okay, so first topic on the board is basically who are we and what do we do? So me, Nick, one of the admins in the group, basically what I do is I do everything media and try to be a comic relief for everybody here. I own my own team. All the admins own their own team. I own Performance Motorsports. With our special guest of today is Michael Bennett. He's actually a fellow member of that team. Kevin, want to kick off and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Oh, you're making me go next. All right.
Yeah, yeah, right off the back, baby.
Kevin Orlando, one of the league owners, also captain of Go for Broke Racing. Uh, what the hell did you say?
I said I was a media professional.
I am a. I keep track of the points, keep everyone on their toes, and tell people what to do.
And you are Ryan Newman of the
I am
league.
Ryan Newman.
Yeah, if
Make my car
nobody
wider than
knows
track.
this, Kevin's one of the hardest people to pass. He will make sure you guys have to, door each other
Hardest,
before you pass.
hardest son of a bitch to get by.
Oh, you can
By
ask my
far.
teammate. I was letting him by yesterday when it took him 3 laps to get around me for the lead.
All right, well, we got Trevor or Justice. Hit it, boys.
Go ahead,
let,
Trevor.
let the hat go first.
Oh, well, that means that's you,
That's how
big
it
dog.
goes.
No, so Justice. I'm the rules and penalties admin. Basically making sure everybody does what they're supposed to, including these three, who are sometimes the hardest to police. Um, I am the captain of BDE Motorsports. If you don't know what it means, you can send a DM and ask. It's pretty easy to assume, but yeah, we get out there and try to get after it.
I guess I'll be the
Last
last
but
one.
not least, the one that wrecks people on super speedways.
Yeah, the Joey Logano
Usually.
of the league, hey,
Yeah,
or Brad Keselowski or Ricky Stenhouse. I mean, whichever one you want to go with.
Rob might be the Keselowski. He's the one that gives bad pushes.
ooh,
True, true. All right, so I'm Trevor. I am the captain of Tire Slayer Racing. Um, I guess my admin duties is I'm the Internet Explorer of the admin guys. I come up with about one good idea a month, and then I'll pop in for the occasional input. Tend to be the level-headed guy during conversations, though. When we have to have penalties talks, I'm usually the level-headed guy that tries to keep everybody together. But other than that, I'm just here for fun because it was a interesting way how we all got started and how this admin team came to be. But definitely glad that we are all here and all succeeding so far.
I'm actually glad you brought that up, Trevor. We totally forgot exactly why the hell we all started this thing to begin with. So, really quick for all the viewers out there, we were in a different league. We kind of didn't like how that league was being run. We wanted our own league to basically make it a group for literally anybody to come in, enjoy racing, and just have a fantastic time while doing it. And I think our core values of this league have grown exponentially, and we have, what I think, Kevin, 40 people registered for this league already?
Uh, we have
48.
52 people
48.
registered.
There you go.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
we're down to 48. A few
There's
people
So,
have left.
40. There's 48
so
in the league on iRacing.
okay.
48 people registered at the moment. We had 29
29
on track
started.
yesterday, which is pretty good.
No, and actually, I don't know if you guys know this. Actually, Justice brought this up earlier this week. It's actually our 1 year anniversary of actually forming this league. I believe it's this week or next week. And
I
our
believe it's
first
tomorrow.
Yeah, I
tomorrow,
think it was, what is it, 24th? What's today's
24th.
date?
24th.
Yeah.
No
March
shit.
with today's the
Today's the
It's a
23rd.
23rd,
good
right?
number, boys. 24. Anyway,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
God.
kind of no, it's serious. It's kind of crazy to say that we started this league with 15 guys that came over, and now we're already up to 48. So it's just everybody knows out there in the community too, especially with the help of Patrick and Simtrax with putting us out there, that it's just grown and people seem to love it here. And one of those people that love it here is Michael Bennett. Michael Bennett, you want to introduce yourself? And I promise we'll stop calling you Michael. I know you hate that.
Yeah, that'd be super great, Nick.
What am I supposed to
Appreciate it.
call him?
Just Bennett would be okay.
Hey, hey,
Defend or
you
well,
forgot to
sorry.
press a button.
First.
You forgot to press a button.
Oh, sorry.
There you go.
All right,
Kevin,
appearing over
sorry,
here.
I'm Michael Bennett. Kevin, you could also call me the RR Season 1 Talladega winner. I'll also take that.
Oh wait,
Um,
Daytona
uh,
500
Navigator?
champion
The-
too.
Talladega, got it.
The
No, no, no.
Navigator?
Also, the
Come on now.
Navigator. You can't see it here, but it is above the door. Tune in.
You wanna
Simtrax
brag
Why
about
don't we,
your
why don't we give him the car number
the
and
way.
sponsor? Huh? Driver of the number 14 Slurp Ford Mustang?
14 Slurp Ford Mustang. Yes, sir.
He's number what? Number 10th in points, number 1 in our hearts.
Up
No, he's
until
about number 3
yesterday.
in the heart.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know what I am after yesterday.
I think you're
there
still
was
10th
some
in points.
perfect.
Yeah.
So let's stay with that. Yeah, I'm a part of Performance Motorsports. I've known several of these guys for years. Justice, we go back to playing high school golf together.
Swinging these sticks back here.
Yeah, exactly. I have a set of his sticks behind me somewhere over there. But yeah,
Trevor, is
happy
that
to
Michael
be here.
Scott?
What?
What?
Oh, that's not Trevor. That's Nick.
That's
Forgot you
definitely Nick.
Oh,
Wait, how can you mix us up?
I
We're
just looked at the
shambles.
computer monitor, and that's
That's
where
terrible.
his
Oh,
camera was.
Yeah. If you're since you're looking at me, I can also brag about this. Since I'm the only one here with the best place trophy so far. That's number.
Oh,
That's
no, no,
third.
no.
And that's
third
good
place,
for the video
you
viewers.
know?
That trophy's
Whoa.
nothing.
It is.
For,
It is.
uh,
So
the
everyone that
audio-
can't see this, obviously, if you're watching on the podcast, I have a third place trophy here. I mean, Trevor can brag about his, but it's number 4. So I mean, technically, I'm one
Hold on,
spot
and
better
if-
than him.
if we're gonna go
Technically,
there,
I'm the
How I got
replacement
that
for the
fourth place
guy who has
trophy?
the better one.
If we're gonna go there, though, Nick, at least bring up
The
the
fact that
people
you
on the
wrecked me to
plaque.
get that?
Dude,
I mean,
okay, listen.
I think our sponsors need a plug.
Okay,
Come on
listen.
now.
So anyway, first off, thank you Coastal Financial for sponsoring my car and sponsoring me. So this is gonna be brought up. So really quick, last season, the final race at Phoenix, I wrecked Trevor. You know, he was on older
did.
tire. He was on
Just
older
drove
tires.
right through.
Listen,
You
listen.
did.
I misplaced his acceleration point and quote unquote to quote Wayne yesterday, I was not fucking lifting.
You
You
drove.
misplaced
yeah.
in front of your
Hell
car
yeah.
into the back of his. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Hold on. If we're
Oh
gonna
wait,
talk
wait.
about
And here
Wayne
and
jokes,
here's something better. After I moved Trevor, I was in second place. My new teammate Alex Forget Barube wrecked me then the very next turn to get third place in the league.
We weren't
So-
teammates then. To be
Son of a
fair,
bitch.
if we're gonna talk about funny Wayne jokes, though, I think the funniest one. So
I
a few
got
of
it.
us being in the same Facebook Messenger group, we're going back and forth about things that happened. We raced Atlanta Super Speedway last night, and we're going back and forth. And the message we get from Bennett is, "My Wayne low broke," and I all of a sudden I finished way further back than I should have. And I may or may not, boys, have been in tears laughing at that earlier.
Yeah.
Shot me right. Wasn't supposed to go right.
We
So-
only
Good
turned
time.
left there. Yeah,
This is a good time. Not next week.
So
that's right.
first topic of the day. Well, actually, I'm probably on like number 3 right now.
You've said
Yeah.
first topic like 3 times, so.
You're doing terrific,
There
Nick,
it
as
is.
the leader of this
Yes.
podcast.
So anyway,
we'll try
so
you as
anyway,
host this
so
week,
anyway,
Nick.
I like finishing first, so it's always gonna be first topic. So
Whoa.
anyway,
never do.
no,
How
no.
many
There
So
times
it
have you
is.
done that?
He's a
too
generous
many,
man.
too
He
many.
always
Hey,
finishes
Hold
second.
on, hold on. I'm just gonna say this: there's 3 people in here combined that have the same amount of wins I do, and then there's Trevor.
Yeah.
That's
So
pretty
anyway,
fucked up for the first
So anyway,
podcast.
so for someone that made the championship for last season,
Oof.
we're gonna talk
Oof.
about the last race that we had, which was yesterday, Atlanta Super Speedway. So who should we go to? Oh wait, Kevin won that race, so maybe we should
did?
talk to him
Oh,
about
man,
what
I-
he thought
I
about
I
the
want to
race.
thank you for sending me this awesome trophy for winning
Is that
yesterday.
plastic?
I've never seen shipping that fast.
There it is.
Amazon.
Golly.
Hey,
Hey, overnight straight from Mass.
Overnight, straight from Alibaba. Yeah,
Hell
fantastic.
yeah. Quickest
Damn.
shipping Alibaba's ever given you.
So,
Amazing.
Kevin, so for one of the people that were pushing you to the front yesterday, what you think about that race? How was the racing? Any thoughts about going to it
I
again later this season?
can we just first point out that Nick just keeps giving himself subtle like boosts of
Yes.
confidence here
Yes,
every chance he
100%.
gets?
Oh,
Every
one of the guys that was
chance
pushing you. I was gonna ask you. How'd
Yeah,
you like the race yesterday? There was this car up my ass all night. I wish you'd just leave me alone.
horrible pushing that you were getting from that
yeah,
guy.
I mean,
Had
Speaking
me
terrible push.
sideways half the track.
speaking of asses, we can talk to Michael Bennett about how he got
hello.
his ass packed on the last lap.
Whoa.
Oh god.
Oh. Whoa.
So seriously, Kevin started on the pole, led quite a few laps. Obviously, I know you were talking a little earlier before we started recording about letting your teammate by and how hard that was. But just how was the view out front? And you were pretty much up front all night. Why don't you do a little talking about it?
Yeah, I mean, I was able to stay top 10 for, I think, the whole race. I don't think I ever fell outside of the top 10. Got points in the stage. Back in traffic was rough, though. I mean, traffic. 10th place behind other cars. You can't see nothing. You can't do nothing. You're trapped. You know, that's coming. We do have the race later in the season. I hope being a night race, it makes it a little bit more competitive for the mid section of the race when we get those long runs. Because for a while there, we were 2 by 2 wide. Yeah, the lead 3 cars are jostling around, but everyone else is just kind of stuck.
Right.
And
I was in that outside line trying to get up to y'all. I couldn't do it. Like I
no,
was
Yeah, I mean,
telegraphing the crap out of you,
I
Kevin,
started the
and
race 21st, so I was on the bottom line,
yeah,
and
so
I mean,
you know
we took
exactly.
off. Yeah, we took off, and I'm just like, I'm just gonna chill here. I'm not worried about the stage points. I just want to be around at the end, just because the way that race goes, you expect a wreck or two, and you just don't want to be in it. But next thing you know, I mean, I look up and I was running 10th, I think, right before the first caution happened. It was terrible. Like if you were 2 by 2, you couldn't go anywhere. You were stuck.
No, if you're anywhere on that third row back, the closing rate of speed to the guy in front of you was you either had to be off the throttle before entering the turn, or if you were too late on getting off the throttle, you're braking basically, and
Yeah, that's just
just
it. When I was back in the field, I was dragging brake not to kill the person in front of me.
no,
For a
you
while
had
there.
to.
There was no options, and even with that, I hit him a few times just because I was getting pushed from behind. Just nothing you could do. Just I cannot believe we didn't wreck at some point in the middle of that race.
Yeah, I
Well,
think
That's what I
some of
was
the.
gonna say. We did super well as far as the cautions that were thrown. Well, we
Mhm.
had three, I think, if you don't include the stage, or maybe three including the stage.
No, yeah, there was
uh,
four. I think four
yeah, the
Four
total.
first
total, so
yeah,
Three
one,
so
natural, one
three natural.
first
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean,
suspension.
first one was
honestly,
me, 'cause Rob,
Yeah.
decided to push me in the corner.
sure,
Um,
sure.
Yeah, I watched
It
that
looked.
back. It was not
Oh,
as
yeah.
It
soft as
looked
Rob
very.
made it sound.
It looked well,
well,
but it looked very Chastain Harvick esque.
Harvick-ish.
Like that's what it looked reminded me of.
He was very off center, and that's not
Yeah.
what he was describing to me last night when I asked him. I'm like, "What'd you
Yeah,
do
no,
to Nick?"
no,
I was
but
just pushing him. Nothing happened. I don't know.
no,
it's
but
weird that you were talking about asses, Nick, where Rob was packing them. You joined that group last night.
I did. But no, but seriously, to Bennett's point about us doing a good job, wrecking from the lead and not collect. I think we only collected 5 guys in that, and that was just
Mhm.
because of guys chose the wrong lane to miss it, basically. But other than that, if you want to take real life into perspective here, what Xfinity race on Saturday, they took
Oh
what an
God.
hour and a half to
Oh,
do
Oh,
40 laps, where we did
yeah.
130 in under 2 hours with only
We
Yeah.
have
three
more
natural
talent confirmed.
cautions. Yeah.
I mean, look
Sign
at
us
who we're
up.
comparing to. It's
Yeah, well, I think the biggest thing though is everybody was lifting because our biggest concern was putting into place the turn 3 rule for green flag pit stops, and that was a huge concern of mine was who blows through that, comes up on track, takes out 7, 8 cars. And we didn't see that at all. Green flag pit stops were super clean. Everybody got back out on track,
Yeah.
and we were able to run in kind of separate trains and see some different strategies play out.
Yeah,
and Trevor
actually,
I,
almost died on entry and then proceeded to speed on pit road.
I mean, you
I
say
totally
pit
forgot
road,
about
I,
pit stops,
pit
how we
road.
changed it.
Yeah, you say they were clean, but somebody gets ass packed on the pit road, and the other one of us just completely misses our breaking point.
Yeah, well, You do that
I mean,
regularly, though. There's nothing.
all in all, though.
I just don't know how you sped because I passed you getting into pit road, and then you like hit the gas instead of the brakes and flew back past me. And I'm like, what are
So-
you doing?
He
So
pressed
here's
his clutch instead of the brake.
no. So here's what happened was I was looking for the yellow cone and I wasn't paying attention to like actually where I was. So Bennett gets hit
Bennett
by
moved the
Rob,
cone.
hits
Smoked
the
the cone.
cone.
It was
And
not.
so-
It was Rob.
Yeah,
Rob
no
moved the
way.
cone. I
Rob
was
hit the cone.
inside.
So you're
Yeah.
telling
So-
me you weren't at pit speed because someone else hit the yellow cone and you
Yeah,
got
so-
lost that easily?
Yes.
I
Yeah.
had been using the cone.
You need directions to get around the track.
no. So
Turn left in 500 feet.
Hey,
Haven't you
Kevin,
won like 5 or
gay-
6 times in this league?
Yeah,
So
I-
Bennett
Road
Bennett
courses,
wasn't in
though.
the Bennett was not in that Homestead race back in
Where-
URL, boys. You remember that? You talk about pit blame game. Trevor's
So-
now on that level.
So let's step back a little bit. So we used to race in Underdog Racing League, and we're not going to throw any shade quite yet. But
We'll get drunk
essentially,
enough
I
one
did
time to
not.
let that happen.
yeah.
One Sunday race for me. I can
Yeah.
throw shade.
So essentially, I was co-owner of that league. Was told I was going to get control of that league, and our admin group that we have now over here was my admin group of choice over there. Things didn't work out. Kevin approached me, was like, "Hey, we're gonna go start our own league. You want to come?" Here we are. But over there,
Now it's
speaking
my
of
fault. I see.
yeah, well, I mean, you were the one that wanted to start this. Yeah,
This is
the-
an
well,
elaborate story to blame
did.
somebody for
I-
a pit entrance.
I
no,
couldn't
no,
do it anymore.
yeah, no,
It
Kevin,
gets
Couldn't do it
better,
anymore.
but it
Okay.
gets better, Bennett.
yeah.
I love this.
So we're at Homestead, and mind you, we've been recruiting hard for this league, the Underdog League that we were still in. We'd been recruiting hard. We had a bunch of new guys in there, and our fearless leader at the time was just a pit road
This happened between two OGs, though, Trevor.
aficionado, essentially.
Yeah.
Careful with the shade.
Now I know where this is going.
And so we come on under caution, mind you. This is under caution. We're coming down pit road. I can't remember who was in front of him, and I'm not going to say his name on who hit it. But
It was
comes
one
down pit
number
road
less than the 90 that was in front of
and
him.
Hell yeah.
smokes the tire barrier on pit entry under caution. I mean, just obliterates it. Takes out
He
like
was
4
doing
cars.
pit road speed at least.
Oh, he was doing pit road speed, but
Yeah.
you want to talk about getting lost on pit road? Is he blamed the car in front of him that he couldn't see the yellow barrels?
So that takes me back.
They
going
jumped out of nowhere.
So on
This-
Kevin, is that why you go up on the barrier every time we
Yes,
practice?
yeah, he's
is
got
that
a
what you,
gauge.
Yes.
that's what you,
It's-
okay.
So
That makes
this
a lot of
takes
sense.
me-
Comedic gesture.
this takes me back, like, talk about this is IRL, not sim racing stuff. The first year of the Bristol Dirt Race, 2 other league members here that you'll see at some point, Grant, Thorpe, who's another admin, and then Blake Cook. The 3 of us go up to the Bristol Dirt Race. We're there, and it was the year it rained a bunch, so we were going for the truck and the cup race on Monday. We're there. I don't know. I don't think it was like lap 30 or lap 40, and one of the trucks smoked the barrels, and the sand went everywhere. I mean, it took them like an hour to clean up the freaking barrels, and that's what
I
it
was
reminded
watching
me of
that.
so bad. It was
I
so
think I got
hilarious.
the link to watch that at work from one of you guys.
Yeah, it was the funniest thing I may have ever seen IRL.
So all in all, that's why you sped on pit road, right?
Yeah,
That's
all
what
in
he's
all, it's
getting at.
because
Yeah,
Oh,
that's,
okay.
that's really the
cone.
moral of the
All in
It
story.
all-
circles back
Okay.
to the cone.
The
It's
cone
because Rob
magically
hit the cone.
disappeared.
Sand
I
on the
couldn't see
track.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was sand on the track. You couldn't brake early enough.
I couldn't
You hit
see the
sand.
cone. It threw me off
You
my
went in.
judgment of where the
Got
line
it.
actually was.
So
All right.
continuing the breakdown of the race last night. Go to the green white checkered, Kevin. I know we had some discussion about this last night because there was some things that happened
You left
that
your
weren't
teammate.
Yeah.
that
you
weren't
asshole.
expected.
Yeah,
I
what
didn't
the
believe
hell
him.
was that?
I want to hear the perspective of Kevin and what he thinks from the perspective of his teammate, what may have happened, and then
I
we'll
know exactly
discuss
what
our
happened.
end
We
of it.
talked about it.
Okay.
we
Before
talked
I-
about it.
Be clear.
So-
Clarify what teammate we're talking to.
Mike.
Your mic is.
Oh wait. Hold
Yeah, there
on.
you go.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Okay.
not in your nose, but closer to
It
mouth.
was- Yeah,
It was
so-
down. It was
Somewhere in this
down.
area,
It was
Nick.
down.
Yeah,
Anyway,
that's right
Really,
already.
just right
See,
at
mine's
right.
mine's at the
clarify
perfect
what
spot.
teammate we're talking about, Kevin.
My boy, Tay McDonald.
Yeah.
Fast, reliable, questionable. So we're coming to the choose cone. I'm like, dude, whatever. Wayne Lowe was in the lead at the time. Whatever Wayne does, I'm going to the other lane. We're getting around him. He's like, all right, I got you, man. We get to the choose, and he doesn't. And I'm like, dude. And he's like, dude, I got to do what I got to do to try to get the best launch here and try to get this win. We're both going for the win here. I'm like, you know what? That's what we discussed. That's what we discussed when we were forming that team, that when it came to the end of the race, we'd help each other as much as we could, but each of us was going to go for that win. So, fine by me. I had
So let's-
Justice lined up behind me, gave me I don't
Yeah,
know
so let's
how.
Can I go next?
So let's go to it. Well, I'll let you talk about it, but let me talk. So we go to it from my perspective. We take the 2 to go. Obviously, so Wayne Lowe is on my team, BDE Motorsports. So we take the 2 to go, and we know we're choosing next time around. So I'm discussing with Wayne. Hey Wayne, what are you thinking?
Hold
Wayne
on.
said I'm gonna go
Sorry.
low.
Wait, hold on. Sorry to cut you off. Really quick. Talk about the choose cone and while we're discussing it really quick.
Okay, yeah. So the choose cone
triangle.
rule, it's a box
It doesn't
on the
exist.
track. It doesn't exist in iRacing. We use some points, typically apron, and then above the apron as our choose spot. We require guys to go high or low of that to choose inside or outside lane.
Nick, can you pull the graphic?
Yeah, Nick, you probably can pull the graphic and pop it up.
Yeah. Let me grab that. Let me grab it.
Come on, Mr.
Yeah.
Producer.
Go
For
ahead.
our one video viewer, that'll
Yeah, the
eventually
one
we'll get.
YouTube viewer
Dude,
might get
that's
it.
okay. It's one viewer
Hi,
now.
Jeremy's mom.
It's a million
So-
later. This is where they
Yeah,
start.
Hey, this is probably gonna be all the mountain men people. So Nick's screen here that you'll be able to see on his video, you can see
Yeah.
where we drew a line
I got it.
telling people how to choose. You're gonna pop
Let
it
the
up.
let the
No,
dude with
it is.
triples
It is.
share
Yeah,
the
that's what I'm
freaking.
saying.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's there.
Yeah, so that's how we choose coming to 1 to go under caution. So we take, like I said, we take the 2 to go. My teammate Wayne's leading. Then Kevin's second. His teammate Tay is third. Bennett here is in fourth, and I'm in fifth. Behind me is another guy we're working with that is on Trevor's team, Christopher Schaefer. So we're working a plan. I'm like, Wayne, which way are you going? I'm going low. And I'm like, okay, well, Kevin's going to go opposite. I'm assuming Tay is going to follow Kevin because that's his teammate. At least push each other out there and then race it out. That's what I think is going to happen. Bennett comes into my team chat. Hey, what are we doing?
That's where I was gonna go.
Yeah, Bennett comes into my team chat.
Wait, you went to
I
it?
said, Bennett,
You went to his
Wayne's
Discord?
gonna take low.
Now the reason, so everybody knows, me
Yeah.
and Justice, the season 1 and season 2 of RR were teammates.
We're
Well, I
also
was on
OGs.
BD.
I mean, we've
Yeah,
known
we're
each other for
longtime
14
friends.
years. So
Yeah.
it's one of those
So
things.
when you ask why I went over there, that was the reason.
That's-
I saw the 12 behind me. It was a
Yeah.
familiar sight for me, and I was like, hey, I should probably just go over and say something. So go ahead.
Yeah, so he comes in. I'm like, hey, Wayne's going low. Those two are probably going to go high. You go low. I'll go low behind you. Schaefer's right behind me. He's going to go low. We'll just push 8 of us out
We'll
or
blow
4 of
by
us out. We'll
Blow
blow
by
by him. We'll push 4 out, and we'll race out amongst each other. So the choose comes, and as Kevin outlined, his teammate does something that I've never thought I'd see in
Messed
my life.
everything up.
So Wayne goes low, Kevin goes high. Tay proceeds to go low. Bennett, doing what he thought was team order, goes low, like right behind Tay. So my next thought is, well, I'm not gonna let, because I knew Schaefer was just gonna go low. So I'm like, well, I'm not gonna let 8th place get second row restart. So I go high, get behind Kevin. Schaefer goes low, choose plays out. Well, as Kevin said, Tay was hoping to get a good launch. He did not.
He did not.
He got a
Did
terrible
not.
He did
launch.
not.
Wayne took off. Wayne created what, Kevin? It had to be like a 7 or 8 car length gap.
He just went. He was
I'm
gone.
on your ass. Like in first gear, I had a perfect shift to second gear. We were shifting like on point together. As soon as I cleared the bottom lane, I jumped down because I'm gonna push my teammate out as far as I can, and then we're
You
gonna
got
race
Wayne
it
up
out.
there.
I mean, you would expect that. I'd expect you to do the same thing with your
I would
teammate.
expect nothing else.
Right,
Viewers,
you
just
so-
wait
then you
15
wreck your
seconds
teammate.
to see what our
just
teammate-
wait 15 seconds. So I do that. Tay then jumps to the top, right? He gets on your bumper, tries to do something to help you there, Kevin.
That's
I've
my
got
name.
Bennett behind me. We come to the white flag. Get to the white flag, and so Wayne and I actually discussed this today. He messaged me this afternoon, saying he understood it was his fault, things like that. But
Calamity
basically,
ensues.
my teammate fades up. I'm second on the
Allegedly.
inside line. My teammate fades up like he's going to block the top line. There's nowhere for him to go up there. I have Bennett on my back bumper. We break the plane of Wayne's car, and I think, well, we're just going to eat him up. I don't have anything else I can do. So I go low between Wayne and the line. Wayne tries to throw a block, and I was at his left rear tire. So next thing you know, I'm down probably 5 car widths inside the red line. I come back up on the track. Wayne and I get together. Wayne proceeds to bobble Rex probably the rest of the field.
Well, let's
Um,
It's
start
what
with
it looked
me.
like.
Let's
yeah,
start with
Wayne
me.
smokes
Wayne smokes me.
his Wayne low broke and he went right.
Yeah,
So he
Or were you
goes.
5 wide at that point?
we
Yeah,
were
they were
4
5
wide.
wide when they were.
We were 4 wide when we wrecked, 2 of which had come back up from under the red line.
So the
And
fortunate
I
part
don't
for
know who I
me,
hit.
the fortunate part for me is I think I'm finishing third. I'm like, all right, I cleared this. I have Schaefer behind me, who is Trevor's
My
teammate.
teammate,
And
yep.
as the
Uh,
thing is on Tire Slayer Racing, next
Team
thing you know,
orders.
he drives through my right rear. I get
I
spun and finish
mean,
17th.
There it is.
debatable.
Now we're in last season.
I mean, you
Yeah,
gotta
now
do
we're
what you gotta
there.
do for a podium finish. You know, hey,
Yeah,
I
I
gotta,
mean,
I gotta
Hey,
To
talk.
Schaefer's
hey,
credit, he's 2 for 2 on podiums at super speedways.
yeah, and I'm gonna say this in case Schaefer, you listen to this, you apologize. I'm chill with it. I understand. I'm not mad at you.
is what it is.
It is what it is. That's the nature of that kind of racing. I
I-
didn't expect him to push me to third there.
I
That's
will
I
say,
will.
by any means.
Schaefer's quietly a top 10 driver because he's gotten a top 10 every race this
He
season.
just chills. But when you look back, and this goes back to we can do some recap of the other races, right? I mean, this is our 4th race, 4th different winner.
We don't
But
have to
all of
recap
our
Daytona.
yeah, Trevor wrecked the whole field at Daytona.
Yeah, we don't have to recap that
Um,
at all.
Big shocker.
So anyway, yeah. So
One time, Kevin. One time, it's all it takes.
fourth
That's
race,
it.
4th different winner. But there's been some madness in the, I would say from like 6th on back in the last couple laps that have allowed somebody like Schaefer, who just kind of chills around 15th for a lot of the race, to finish top 10, and that's
I
how
can
you
tell.
end up in the playoffs all of a sudden.
I mean,
I can tell you one
Schaefer's
thing.
using all of his goddamn mouse tools, you know.
We
There it
said
is.
not to say that.
There it
I
is,
know,
Nick.
I know.
I can
It
tell
came
you one
out.
thing.
It just came
Here's
out.
the
It's
thing
like,
I've
I'll
noticed in
bleep
this
that.
league.
I'll bleep that one out. I'll bleep that one out.
Here's the thing I've noticed in this league. As long as you're not sitting in the exact place of 5th going
You're
into the
good.
last lap of any super speedway,
Yeah, you're good.
you will be fine.
So
You will get
Michael
through.
I don't
Bennett,
know. I was
what
third
place
on the
have you
last
been on
lap.
every last lap of super speedways?
Well, oh, it's funny you should ask me. I've been in 5th on
So
every
if we're
single
gonna make
fucking.
placement jokes, let's talk about the fact that last season. So a recap of last season for Nicholas.
Mr.
Nick,
Sixth
how many
place.
6th place finishes did you have last season?
I had 8.
He had 8.
Yeah.
He had 7 of those before he ever had a top 5.
That is correct.
That's brutal.
Yeah,
That's my
correct.
captain.
Yeah. Oh, Cap and Nick.
Best of the best.
Oh, captain.
I had
But,
I had more 6th place finishes than I did top 5s. I
That
had
is
more
true.
6. I tied Rob on wins with 6th place finishes.
Yeah. So to finish
That's
the
why he
Atlanta
got the big
recap,
trophy.
finish the Atlanta recap from last night. Kevin, you get the win. We have a win in your in playoff system, just like you see IRL. So Kevin, I mean, how's that feel? Last year you got in the playoffs without a win, pointed your way in. This season, you're locked in. How's that feel?
It feels like I'm gonna have to do better at Darlington, Kansas, and
Bristol.
Yep.
Well,
Yeah.
luckily,
feels like I'm gonna have to step it up.
And that'll be the round of 12 this year. That's a tough round.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
around
no, that's
16,
right. That's
isn't it?
16.
Oh,
Where
that's
I got
16.
knocked out
Yeah,
last year.
16, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
knocked
16.
out in the first round last year, so this
Well,
year I just want to make it further.
Last
wanna
year
talk
we only
about
had
that?
12. Last year we only had 12 drivers make it into
Yep.
the
Right.
playoffs. This year,
This
since
year
we're
we're
doing the
16.
full NASCAR schedule, we're doing 16. So we're mirroring the schedule actually. The only time we're not mirroring it is when they go to Martinsville in a few weeks here. We're actually taking that week off, and we actually skip Phoenix as well. So we're not matched
Which is
two
trash.
races.
We also are not racing the Indianapolis road course.
Yeah, what do we take?
bummer.
What do we do in place
Oh,
of
so we
that?
skipped 3?
No, we just took it as a bye week, as an
Oh,
extra
that's
bye.
okay.
It gives
Okay,
us an extra
gotcha.
bye. It's tough, man. That's the one thing I'll give the IRL guys. This is a tough schedule when you only have 1 week off. All right, they get 1 week off, and that's what is it, Father's Day weekend? I mean,
Yeah,
that's
it's like that mandatory
insanity.
non-break. Whereas like F1, they get
Yeah,
they get a whole
summer
summer
break they
break,
get
which
like
is a
what,
full month.
4 weeks?
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
full month that they get off. Which, I mean, they do more traveling, so I get it. But NASCAR still, I'm like, they only really have Monday and Tuesday as off days, and that's only if they go home that Sunday night after the race.
yeah,
So.
yeah. These dudes are animals, man. I give them that, and
Man,
that's the
could you?
same thing I told Patrick last week on the broadcast about racing here. Man, we don't give each other enough credit. I think from week to week, just how good some of our drivers are. Not just I know Rob was kind of dominating season one, ended up getting the championship in season two, but he had to fight for it. It grew a lot tougher, and man, a top 10 here is hard earned most weeks on these tracks.
No, you can no, seriously, if you look at the top 12 guys that made the playoffs last year and you look at their stats this season up until like the fourth race so far, it's really only two former playoff drivers from last year that actually have either one lived up to expectations so far or exceeded it. And I think the only driver that's exceeded it so far is
There's
Caleb.
three.
Um, but real oh sorry, there's three. So there's only
You got
really
you
three
got Burns, you got
guys.
Caleb, you got Trevor.
Yeah, so
All
actually,
well, yeah,
so Burns we can
all
take
four
off.
winners were
Yeah, so
playoff drivers.
Burns we can
All
technically take off that list. He had a bad race yesterday, which I mean it happens at a super speedway. But before yesterday, it was Trevor, Caleb, and Jeremy. Sorry, that just were lights out to begin with. So credit to Trevor, the only championship for a driver.
I'm
No, sorry,
I mean
Caleb
here
was
I
too.
mean here's the thing though. Yeah, I mean you're looking at last year you get Caleb, Trevor, Jeremy, Grant.
Hmm.
That's your top four, and then Kevin with the win moves into sixth place. And then other than that, you, Nick, in 12th. That's
And
it. Those are your
you want
playoff
to talk
drivers.
about we talk about trending drivers like trending up, trending down.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'd be it'd be hard not to say I'm trending down, right? I'm 30th in points at the
We
moment,
love you
but
though. It's
Can't
yeah,
go
okay.
I
much
mean
lower.
got a lot of season left to get some wins and try to get there. But talk about trending up. Grant is one of those, man. At some point, he's got to win a race,
He's
but
a
man,
weapon,
he's
I mean,
dude. He's
capping
a
he's
good
capping
weapon.
consistency,
Yup.
on the points. It's like you're fourth in the regular season points without a win, without a stage win yet. I mean,
you want
he's
to talk
putting it
He's
about the
marked
together.
fact
hard.
that he was a lap down yesterday and still almost got to the front there?
Yeah, I mean, he
He
was in
was
He
at
was a
one
real
contention
point.
threat.
late. He was in
Yeah.
contention late, and that's at some point he closes that deal, and I don't know that
Yeah.
it's something where we can stop him from winning a few at a time when that
The
happens.
thing
No,
is though,
he's a
like
threat.
you talk about
100%.
closing the deal, right? Like look at last year in real life with NASCAR, Martin Truex Jr., who
Yep,
didn't win a race at all last year, but was what third or fourth in the actual overall standings before playoffs, and he
he's
actually ends up
fourth at the end. Yeah.
yeah, he ends up missing playoffs altogether, even though he's fourth in the regular season standings because there's 16 guys that technically 17 guys that won a race. So he actually ends up missing it with the talent that we have so far in this league. I don't see why after 10 races we have 10 different winners. I mean, to be fair, we go to COTA next week, so I think next week is the one time that we can be like, hey, we might have a repeat winner depending on like if Trevor wins it or you win it. And speaking of next week, it's a road course. Do either of you guys want to talk about the bounty I keep hearing about on road courses?
Yeah, I'll talk it up because it was me that kind of placed that on there. So this goes back to again recapping a little bit of like season. See, did we even run a road course in season? We ran Watkins
Just
Glen, didn't
one,
we?
yeah,
Yeah,
just
just the
one.
And,
Glen.
and
So
Rob won it.
and Rob won it, but in most of the races, you're basically looking at myself or Trevor. Kind of as the favorite. I think everybody would pretty much say that, especially like season two. We go to Road America. I was dominating that race. Made a mistake on pit road. It did allow Parker to get in and win, but I finished second there. And then where else did we go? It was Daytona Road the next one. Go to Daytona Road.
Spanked the
Um,
field. I mean, just walked the field.
yeah, spanked the field. And I don't want to sound like Brad, but I absolutely spanked the field. I mean, I finished 10 seconds ahead of Trevor. I think fifth place was over a minute back. Some cars being a lap down. So yeah, it was crazy. And then we go to COTA, and Trevor and I combined spanked the field. I mean, I think what was it, a second and a half maybe from
Yeah, I
you to
think it,
me,
it
or a
ended like in
second to
a
third?
second and a half. It was
Yeah.
I think
was a
the
close
most you got up to
battle.
was about 3 seconds.
Yeah,
It
a
was just
close battle most of the race, but then third place was 12 seconds behind me. So I think it's safe to say that. So what I did this season was I opted to sponsor a couple of the road course races, but the thing I did was for um, COTA, and then going forward, it'll actually carry over. There is a bounty if someone straight up beats us both, wins the race. They will be paid out. It's $20 at COTA. If nobody does it at COTA, it carries to the next one, which I believe is the Glen. Is the next road course race after that. So it'll carry into the Glen and then Chicago Street if it's still going. So we could see it carry all year.
is it the Glen or
And
is it the street course that's next?
yeah, I don't know. I may have flipped those.
It
Oh
might
no,
be
no,
it,
it's Sonoma. It's
Ooh.
Okay,
Sonoma.
so it
Sonoma,
goes
yeah.
yep.
Sonoma. So then it goes Sonoma.
Then the street
Um,
course, then the Glen.
what
So hold on.
I
So the deal is if it's going to carry over, as in like it's going to it's going to add
it's going to
20 every
carry
Yeah,
time.
over.
by
No, it's
20.
going to carry over to Sonoma. If it doesn't get hit
So
at
it'd be
Sonoma, then
40.
it'll double. It'll be 40 at Chicago Street.
The thing is though, we've
Oh,
so
so it's
two
20 for the first two.
20 for the
So
first
at
Yeah.
two.
COTA, if anybody beats you at COTA,
It's
hold
20
on. Now is
and the
this
bounty's done.
now what is the bounty? So because this is good for people like me, right?
Yep.
Who are absolutely have no shot of winning this race, right? But love money. So if I beat you or Trevor, or I have
No,
to
you have
No,
beat
to
you
beat
have
both
to
them
of
beat
you,
us
both.
both.
You have to
I have
win
to
the
beat
race.
both of you,
Yeah.
And you
and
have to
so
win the race.
okay. So I can't just finish higher than you.
No.
Nope, you have to win the
And
race.
you
So
can't
wreck a
and
someone
you
season.
else
Well, I
can't
would
guess
wreck it.
finish higher than
somebody
you.
else would finish higher than me. Yeah.
That is
So
correct.
Yeah.
if you guys were to accidentally get
No, if
involved
we
in a caution,
if
not
With each
by
we
other,
me,
ideally,
no,
not
with
by
each
me,
other.
yeah, no, we can't.
ideally,
So it's not by
and
you.
then
If
me and
we
Kevin
can't get
battle it
outright
out for the
wrecked,
win.
right? So
Yeah.
let's just say for purposes of this,
Sure.
Nick manages to blow turn 11 and gets me and Trevor both right there, and
Yeah.
we're
Why do you
done.
have to say blow it
Sure.
like I missed my
I'm just
breaking point? Why can't you
Calm
just say I
down.
cleaned you
because
out?
we know.
Because you race behind me at COTA, you're
So
gonna miss your breaking
he
point.
blows turn 11, takes us both out. You and Kevin are racing for the win. Whichever one of y'all wins, y'all beat us fair and square.
That's it.
Yeah,
Okay.
but you
I
can't.
hope
What we don't.
everybody in RR is listening right now, boys. I think
What
we
we
have
don't
some
want to
money to be made.
encourage
Yeah, those
is
lap cars have a big role to play here.
we don't want
Kynan.
to encourage
Where
the
is
Ross
Kynan?
we don't want to encourage the Ross Chastain, AJ Allmendinger, Alex Bowman thing in turn 19.
Sure, I don't think
You
that's the
know,
thing I love about this league. Even if you guys do some shit like that, like nobody's gonna go out of their way to wreck somebody
Intent wreck
intentionally.
somebody.
yeah, and
Well,
that was the only comfort with
The
putting
other
that
the
on
other
there.
what
Yeah.
if though about these road courses is we've never ran Sonoma and we've never ran
Mm.
Chicago Street. So those two are like
We also haven't run the Glen in this car because we run the
yeah,
next
never
gen.
not in the next gen, yeah.
So
So
Well, to
it's
be fair, in this league, we've never run the Glen at all.
Yeah, we did.
yeah,
Yeah,
we
we
yeah,
did.
did.
No, we
season
did.
In
season 1.
Xfinity,
No,
Yeah.
Rob
we
won it.
Yeah.
Oh, an Xfinity.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
well. All right, you better point then. I guess. Sorry, I missed that week.
Good morning.
Yeah, so that's
Thanks.
just a preview of COTA. That could be a really fun one. Going back there and see if people have closed the gap. I know Grant's typically one of those that can get up there and surprise some people. You already have some people hustling because officials on iRacing this week are there.
We got
Can I take a
about
hot
an
take?
hour before we got to
Yeah,
get
let's
into the
hear
official
the
race.
hot take.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can I take a hot take? I want to see the 18 car not wreck himself at
I
a
agreed.
road
So
course.
the 18 is my team.
Yeah, that'd
again,
be nice.
Jacob
I wanna-
Savage, yeah.
I want to see Jacob because he said, dude, the crazy part is he's so fast when it comes to anything road we ever do. He's always quick, and his biggest enemy is just himself.
So
He
the
will
biggest
get in his way.
the biggest thing that I found funny is you talk about Daytona Road and we put in a ton of work that week. Bennett, you
Oh,
were
yeah.
there. Jacob, Trevor, Parker, Grant joined sessions. We put in a ton of work. But the funniest part of that was on the broadcast. I think every montage, because there's no cautions, we don't do any restarts, any of that. Basically every montage that Patrick had of wrecking cars about every 5 laps opened with, and the 18 is around again. You know, it was one of the funniest things I've ever
To
seen.
Jacob's credit, though, he passed the most amount of cars, but the only problem is he had to
They
pass
passed it.
those cars
Yeah,
because he spun himself out. I
yeah,
swear, I finished ninth. He passed me 3 times in the span of
guaranteed,
15 laps.
I'll
guaranteed.
tell you. I'll tell you. That's the hot take. Is if the 18 can stay on track,
Yeah, he's
he
quick.
will be a
He's
weapon
quick.
on road
So
courses.
I said we don't have restarts. We won't this year. We don't have any stage breaks at road courses following the IRL rules. Last year we did. Um, if
For
we
people like me,
hadn't
we should bring those back.
if we hadn't had a restart at Daytona Road, how many cars would I have lapped?
There would probably been only 4 on the lead lap, and that would have been
I can
Although
tell
you
you this
me,
think,
much. I think
Trevor,
last lap I
Grant,
spun out, so you'd have got me.
and Rob maybe,
maybe Rob. Yeah,
because
maybe
Rob was
Rob.
fourth. Like I said, fifth was already over a minute
Yeah.
back, and we only
And
ran
that's it
20
was
laps.
a minute 50 for a lap
Yeah,
time over there or something. So yeah.
yeah, a minute 54, something like that. Yeah, COTA this week, I think the
Oh, it's
fast
over
guys
two
in
minutes.
qualifying are
Yeah.
going to run something around like a 2:15, mid 2:15. I think is going to
That
be
won't be me.
around where your pole lap is.
I can
That
tell you
won't
this
be
Um,
me.
much. I can tell you this much.
in
From running an official today, you're gonna
Yeah,
need to be faster than that.
it's
Trevor made
possible.
me.
Yeah, I
Trevor
mean
made me feel very small today.
the tires though, the tires are going to fall off a little more than we've seen on road courses. I know, like last season, there was you just didn't take
Nothing.
tires. This season you are going to have to take tires. It's a big thing.
I just want to not hit the turtles.
Hey,
That would
Facts.
be a
Trevor, don't hit the
plus,
Big
turtles.
facts.
especially with how many off-camber corners we have at COTA.
Oh,
You talk
yeah.
about 20 corners. I think about 9 of them are off-camber. So
I
you're turning left and it's sloped right. Your car doesn't love
I
that.
like road courses, but COTA just throws me through a loop,
Mm,
man. I can't
I
get that thing
think
down.
I think the most frustrating part for guys that aren't really good at road courses like myself,
Mhm.
um, is that obviously all of us love racing, right? Like we like NASCAR, F1, open wheel, like IMSA, all that, right? The most frustrating part about doing road courses in this next gen car is how slow you have to be in the corners and you have to have patience. I think that's the biggest problem with a lot of us. And that like myself, I don't have the patience for it, and for some reason I feel like I can be smooth, I can do the same corner 3 times, right? But the issue with road courses, every single lap, that corner is never going to feel the same the very next lap.
Yeah, it's hard to hit your breaking point exact. I mean, especially somewhere like COTA. You go to Watkins Glen. I mean, it's what seven corners or whatever, 11. Like it's not that many corners, so it's a little easier to hit your breaking point every lap, and it's a little higher speed. You go to COTA, you have a mix of high speed, kind of through the S's and coming around through the carousel, and then you have the back straight where it's hairpin, go down, catch the other hairpin. So
You don't have to race it in the
COTA's
rain. I'm good.
yeah, right. Yeah, COTA's a challenge. 20 corners. Remembering what you're doing in every corner and trying to repeat that, especially again as the tires fall off, it makes it increasingly difficult.
Yeah. So speaking of Coda, obviously Justice, you and Trevor have a little rivalry going, a friendly rivalry, obviously, in the
Mm-hmm.
road courses. Bennett speaking about Jacob, he has a little rivalry with himself. I believe we also have another rivalry with Kynan with like his equipment, I guess. Is there any other rivalries you guys can
Oh,
think of?
Oh
I was gonna
man.
say track limits, but that's
Oh
okay. We could
well,
go.
Is
yeah.
it hard
We
enough?
No, if
could
you
go
want to talk
Yeah, I was
about
there.
about to
track
say there's
limits,
none at COTA
Caleb has a rivalry with track limits at
at,
road
at
courses.
Watkins
Well,
Glen,
Yeah,
right?
now
yeah,
Good
to
well,
be
yeah, like
one
80
God.
something.
well now
Yeah,
to
so
be
I
honest,
can't say
both of
anything
these fast
though.
guys, have problems with track limits too. We're not gonna
Yeah.
fly past this like the
So
only
let's
reason
talk
they're going a
about
lot really fast is because of that.
But let's talk about iRacing as a whole, right? So when they scanned COTA originally, NASCAR didn't go there, right? So COTA is set up off of F1 track limits. Excuse me. So that's set up off of F1 track limits. Well, these heavy ass stock cars don't want to abide by that. But there's a lot of places where if you're going to be fast around COTA in the stock car, and in our league we don't deal with incident limits, you're going to abuse that. You have to. I mean, Now, you probably didn't have to abuse it as bad as I did last season, where I had 92
90
I was gonna say,
something.
I was gonna say
incidents.
some
Yeah,
of us didn't.
I had
We
92.
were
I
arguably
think
way
Trevor had
slower.
like 33. But again, you look at the fact that I finished a second and a half behind Trevor, and then the next car was 12 seconds behind me. We combined for 125 X's. There's probably a reason. That's kind of the way that I think about it.
I think you should get penalized.
But if we're going to talk about
Yeah,
Hot
sounds like a
rivalries,
plan.
Hot
Sounds like a
take,
plan.
you
Kevin,
know,
you
yeah,
get it. Nick, if we get one more, I think we have. I
Kind
think we have
so
majority vote here.
Kynan and his equipment. I
I would have
I
said
don't know who
Lomax and his
else.
VR headset, but he got that
He's on
resolved.
That's a
triples
good one
now. Yeah,
too.
he's on
Whoa,
triples
yeah.
now.
How about
Blake and
Schaefer in
showing
fourth
up?
gear?
Oh my God,
Blake,
Schaefer.
Blake Cook will be at COTA. He
Oh
will
man,
be
Oh
at
yeah,
COTA.
that is true. He
Yeah.
is going to be a Coda.
Yep.
yeah, that's
Yep.
What about
incredible.
Justice in third gear?
No, the second gear was the problem, Kevin. Going from second to third, I guess you got a point
Oh
there.
wait,
This is
hold on.
my
If we're talking,
equipment.
if you want to talk about gears and issues with gears,
Already said it. Already said it.
Oh, did you? I didn't hear you. You said
Yes,
it.
he did.
I
His
said
Can you
it.
say it
teammate,
again? I think I
yeah,
missed it.
his teammate in
Chris
fifth gear
Schaefer not
had-
knowing there was a fifth gear.
Yeah.
Schaefer
Oh
in
yeah,
fifth
there's
gear,
actually
man.
6 from what they tell us.
Oh
From what
yeah,
they
on the
tell us,
NASCAR
according to
Yeah,
Fox,
there's actually
broadcast.
6. Yeah.
Fuck, they got it figured out over there.
Fox is on it.
That's
and
what
they're
these
good.
cars are really missing on iRacing. They
do-
gotta get that fixed.
I do want to shout out. Speaking of broadcast, I do want to shout out our broadcasters, man. Simtrax.
Oh, he's the best, dude.
Patrick Morrison, he's fantastic. Stella, Stella's good, and for everybody that might tune in this week at COTA, Stella will be on her
She's
own.
gonna be doing the whole
Is,
thing,
this
right?
is some
Yeah.
big news this
This
week.
is this is
some
huge
huge
news.
No.
So
The
and
person that
Stella's-
wins is gonna
Yeah.
have this.
Yeah, this is super fun because Stella's really good. I think that we don't maybe give her enough credit. She does a lot of research. She oftentimes is in my chat pre-race asking me questions.
That's true.
She does her research, her work. I don't think this week's going to be any different. I think that it's going to be fantastic. But yeah, on her own this week, I'm interested to see what she can pull.
It's gonna be awesome.
It's
I will
gonna
love that.
it's gonna be
So
the
we're gonna have
It's gonna
our
be a
lowest
blast.
viewership ever.
what's does anybody know what the name of this race is called?
Oh,
If
no.
not, because
I can
look,
tell
with
you.
with Stella
Is
doing it, it's
it's-
gonna be the Fact Finder 200 because the amount of
It's the
facts that
Earhart
she
group.
like
It's the Earhart
drops.
group.
Oh,
Earhart group, Nick.
Trevor,
It's the
Oh,
Earhart
okay.
116,
did you forget about that?
yeah.
It's the
Well,
Shift P
Fuck,
116.
Nick,
It's
I
the
had already
left
named this
shift
son of a
P.
bitch.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a
man.
left shift P 116, dude.
We're
Yeah.
gonna call
It
this the
rhymes.
I'm wrecking the field 160 or
160,
whatever.
yeah.
Should we just call it the Stella Artois?
So-
Ooh.
let's call it Remember Daytona, bitches.
So let's get-
Whoa!
I want to
remember.
do a fun little thing here. Kind of similar. I think all of us listen maybe to the Door Bumper Clear
I do
podcast.
not.
Yeah, except for Bennett.
Okay.
So what I want to do is let's the guys that are going to kind of be on here regularly, and then we'll let Bennett take a pick as well. But let's get a pick, our pick for this week of RR's winner at COTA.
All right, really quick. Cannot choose yourself.
Cannot
Can I
choose
just go
yourself.
first? I
Okay.
already know
Okay.
who I'm picking.
All right, go ahead, Bennett. You can
I'll
go
go
first.
first. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
go
pick
ahead.
Trevor. I'm gonna pick Trevor.
Alright.
He's been
That's
he's
fair.
been
So once
he's been
once a guy's
absolutely
once a guy's
I-
been picked, can't be picked again.
okay.
Oh,
He's been
shit.
that's why I wanted to go first because
Yeah.
fucking you guys saying Trevor because he's been dominant there.
Yeah.
It's been
That's
it's
fair.
like you at Daytona, right? It's watching from the back. It's like, dude, you just nobody's had anything for him.
He's
Literally,
like the
Trevor's gonna
golden
race him.
goose.
He's gonna race himself this weekend. I hope I don't jinx you, Trevor, because actually,
That's
fuck you. You just
possible.
brought up Daytona, so fuck you. I hope I jinx you. But
All right.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna
That's
say
fair.
I'm gonna say Trevor. I think he's got it down. He all those breaking points, all those things that you were talking about earlier with COTA. I think he's got it down to a T, man.
Well,
I think it's
cool.
his race to lose.
All right,
I'll
so
go ahead and pass it off to Kevin, our race winner from Atlanta.
Alright.
All right, well, I can't downplay the skill that Justice has at road courses, and I've never seen him hungrier for a good finish. So I think he's got a really good chance coming to this week, 30th in points. What are you gonna do? It's a track he knows he can win at. I've never seen it with more motivation to do so. So I think he's a good pick for to win this week. Even though I'd love to say, oh yeah, one of my teammates is gonna take this thing by a mile. Nah, it's got to be Justice.
All right, let's kick it to Trevor.
That was my pick, man. That was my pick.
Well,
Stole the easy one.
Uh,
I
don't
can't
worry,
pick
you
each
can
other.
choose your
Hey,
favorite guy.
let Nick go next.
yeah,
ahead,
we'll
Nick.
let
Yeah,
Nick
let
choose.
Nick.
All
Let
right, so
Nick
Yeah.
go.
I
Yeah.
actually have a little bit of a dark horse, a little
I
pick,
love this.
We love it.
someone that showed some flashes at road courses, someone who actually was pretty good at COTA last season, but he had a little bit of hiccups. But he told me after the race last night that he has done his practice, he is done with all the BS. He is locked into this week. So my pick, my dark horse
19 now.
also is my teammate Alex Forget
19.
Balubin.
Let's go.
The 19.
I love that
Hey,
pick.
Interesting.
I
Yeah, I
love
like
that
that pick.
pick.
That's not a bad pick.
He's fast, dude.
All right,
He's sneaky fast.
Trevor, let's
It's
get
the
it.
French sneakiness.
You
That's
know,
right.
so I had the chance to think about it, and I'm torn about who I want to pick.
I think we're
But
on the
You
same
should go with the
borderline
one that
here.
you know you should pick.
I'm gonna go with
Yeah.
Grant.
Okay.
Ooh, that's not who
Ooh,
I
that's
thought. That's
different
That's a
than
not
what
who
good
I
I
pick.
thought you were
thought.
gonna
too.
say.
That's a good
So
pick too. I like it. I
I'll
like
say
it.
in a minute.
I was torn between Grant and Rob. Okay.
Oh, really?
Not those
Um,
two were not it.
Those weren't it.
Yeah.
That's
So
not who I thought.
that's not the
No.
two.
Actually,
Grant was on my list of of my
But
two.
when Justice
So
goes, I
Grant.
want to say who I thought it was.
so
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Grant has shown flashes of speed. He's kind of like Jacob, right?
sure.
He's really quick, just tends to trip over himself every now and again. And showed some good pace when we were practicing Coda last season, and I think would have been up there with us, Justice, had it not been for a couple of mistakes that he made. I know he locked up, I think in turn one.
he locked up in one, and then he locked up, I think, again in like 12 on
Yeah.
one line. It put him too far back.
Right. So I think Grant, if he can have the same performance he had last season without the mistakes, I think he'll be right up there with us as well.
I agree. So my pick, and mine was down to Grant and my pick, and it kind of left me with that pick. And this is a very sneaky one because this is a guy that is not really, I guess, shown flashes at road courses, but he's solid. And again, this goes to I'm gonna give you a little hint before I say it, but it's another repeat winner for the season, and I think it's Caleb. Caleb was running officials earlier this week, and to be honest, I mean, again, I try to use myself, Trevor, as the measuring stick. One of us two, kind of, what are we doing? And I ran an official at the same time as Caleb in a different split, and here we are. His average lap time was about 2/10 off of mine, so that's a gap that can be made up. He's not 2 seconds off of mine. So when I look at that, I know that he's capable. And again, solid. He's gonna make mistakes. That's part of the road course game. If he can make the fewest he's ever made on a road course, he's gonna have a chance. I can guarantee you.
All right, Nick, you want to go on
So
three
I
with who
thought
we thought
I thought Trevor was gonna go with someone that's won a road
on
course.
his team?
Parker.
On his
Yeah,
team.
that's exactly who
Yeah,
I thought he
dude,
was
that's
I was
going
thinking about
exactly
for.
it,
him.
bro.
Yeah.
I was
That's
thinking
why I
Why
was
would
like,
he do? Why would
you
he
want
do
to go on
that?
three? Yeah.
This Parker, as much as I would love to pick Parker, he absolutely hates Coda. Can't stand the racetrack. So that's why. Now, if we were at Road Atlanta, or not Road Atlanta, if we were at
Oh,
like
you
Road
Road
take Parker
America,
America or
top
something,
three. You take
yeah,
Parker top
I'm
three
I'm picking Parker before I pick myself. Like,
yeah, Road America.
for sure.
that's his track.
He
Coda,
was
like
he was so solid.
we all have like obviously Justice loves Daytona Road. I love Coda. Parker loves Road America. So I mean,
Ooh, do we see the 18 take over Chicago Street?
very
Is
well
that
could
what
be.
is that what
I
we
would
see?
love to. Here's going to be the fun part. So Chicago Street is basically where, and this goes back to being IRL friends, right? So that's where the bounty's most likely to get paid out. There's a good possibility that me and Trevor don't even start that race.
Also won't
So
be there.
Bennett will also not be starting that
Yeah.
race. So it looks like we will be in Vegas, and that'll be fun. I still intend to be on that Thursday night. I assume
That'd be
they would be. We're all
hilarious.
three together. We'll
We
have a
might
little
not have
blast with that.
cameras on just due
We
to the
might not have
circumstances.
cameras, but man, we're gonna have some
I don't
fun
know if
with it.
this is allowed. Could be some strippers and cocaine.
Yeah, if that
You can
if
edit it.
that comes to be that we're not there, the 18 will definitely be somebody I would pick to win the
Huge
race.
threat.
Yeah,
Huge
huge
threat.
threat, big time.
He can beat himself. That's all he needs to do.
Yep.
All right, Nick, we got 30 minutes before we have to register for NASCAR iRacing Series races.
I think just really, I'm guessing to wrap, we're going to do a couple things. I think we want to cover a little bit of IRL COTA, who maybe just go
Yeah,
through some
yeah.
picks who we'd like to bet on maybe, or who's
So,
a DraftKings lineup kind of guy.
so,
Uh,
if you want to talk about
Before we do
IRL,
that,
COTA, and
Yeah,
betting,
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
Kevin,
What
Kevin,
does
I
Kevin
think
got?
has
yeah,
to
no,
split out,
oh
guys.
yeah,
I
yeah,
gotta
you
leave.
got it.
Dude, this has been a great kickoff. Can't wait to watch it back tomorrow and see our one other viewer.
Yeah,
Um,
Just
so
give it time.
yeah,
yeah.
give it time. Give it time.
We'll get there.
Hey, gotta
They'll
start
come back for
somewhere.
our
That's right.
personalities. I
It took
promise.
us 1 year to figure out a league. I give us 1 year to figure this out. All right.
There you
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
There you go.
All
Later,
right. Have
Kevin.
a good night,
All
guys.
right, later,
See you,
Kevin.
Kevin.
Love
Goodbye.
you. Aw.
Yeah, goodbye.
Ah, another one bite, dude.
You
Just queue up.
asshole.
Another one bites the
Yeah.
dust.
Another one bites the dust.
So,
Get
Oh,
another
that's so
one.
good.
low key,
Can I go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
go, yeah,
Oh,
go
sorry.
ahead,
Oh,
go
oh
ahead.
no. Are we going to the betting?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was just gonna
yeah.
say low
Who
key.
would like to bet
I
on?
already
Yeah.
betted on Jordan Taylor on
So have I.
two different sites to win this race
No
just by
shit.
some miracle. So
Who?
So
Jordan
Jordan
Taylor.
Taylor. So, and I
Okay.
want to give some reasoning behind this pick. I think this is a very solid pick. This is a guy that's driving the Garage 56 car, testing for Hendrick. And people can say what they want. Hendrick's using it for sure as a road course advantage. It is
Oh,
basically a
they're-
next gen car with lights, a wing on it. Like there's some things that are different, but it is a next gen car. This guy's been testing for the last I don't know what 8-10 weeks. Now he hops in a car that we know with the driver who he's replacing, which is Chase Elliott, has won a ton of road course races. Like it's going to be a very good car. He's going to get the chance to qualify it. I think it's a car with the speed to qualify top 5, top 10, even with him behind the wheel. Once he starts getting some laps in, he's going to have a chance to work his way forward. I really think that he's got a chance.
I'll
I
take
think
a.
the
I'll.
other
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Finish
I was
yours.
just say I think the other guy that people got to watch for that's it's a one-off race for is Kimi Räikkönen. I know a lot of people laugh. This is an F1 guy coming into a heavy stock car. He ran a road course race last year. I don't remember which one he ran.
Watkins
Oh,
Glen.
Watkins
He
Glen.
ran the
Yeah.
Glen in this same car
In a track that he's not familiar
in
with.
a track
though.
he's not familiar with. COTA, he has put in a ton of laps at COTA, albeit in an F1 car.
His last
But
F1
this
win
is
too.
it's his last F1 win. This is going to be a track where he has a chance. That's a car that won last year. It's a trackhouse car. They are going to build it to be a fast car. I think that he could sneak his way
He
up
was,
there and
he was
make
fast
some
at
noise.
Watkins Glen.
I was gonna say, to his
Yeah.
credit, he was top 15 at the Glen before he got taken out because he couldn't see the car that was wrecking in front of him, and that was the
Yep.
only reason why he got taken out of that race.
Yeah, so I expect he's going to have the highest level of track awareness at COTA. Right, he's used to running around there without a spotter. Now he's got 4 people yelling in his ear about where he can and can't go. I want to see what Kimmy does. This to me is the true judgment of what Kimmy still has in the tank.
We're also
Right.
really quick, Ben, before you go, we're also missing the biggest talking point, and I think the most exciting point for this week coming up. We actually have Gunther coming into the booth. You
Yeah.
know, the team principal for Haas F1
Haas
team,
F1.
which is going to be absolute
Dude,
comedy. And
it's
with
gonna be
that, we're going to go to our
hilarious.
own comedian Bennett with his pick.
Well, to come in with that much heat, you know what I mean? Like that I'm that good. I do like to think I provide the most comedic relief. And I will say, from comments earlier, I'll give Jacob a close second
There it
in
is.
a lot of things.
There it is.
So, who's driving the 14 car this week? Really?
It is
Is what we
unfortunately
need.
still Chase Briscoe.
Yeah, it's
Big
still
dog.
Chase
Yeah.
Briscoe,
Hey,
bud.
you know what?
Hey,
I
if you
think
go
that
one
I think
number
that
up to the 15, it's Jensen Burton. So
here's the
Button.
Button,
here's the thing
Jensen
though.
Button.
Here's the thing about us 14 cars. Um, it's all or nothing, really. We go in every week. Are we gonna hate each other after the race? Of course. It's a thing that we do every single week. Do I support him? Fuck yeah, I do.
Unfortunately.
Fuck yeah, I do.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Dude, 14's winning the race because I have no fucking idea who's actually racing this week.
you think he's gonna watch the podcast?
But
bro?
I love Briscoe. Dude, if Briscoe, if you hold on, if
Want me
you
tag him? I'll
watch
tag
this
him.
podcast,
Yeah, that's
tag him in
right.
this.
Okay.
If you watch this podcast, I want you to know that in the 2023 season, I have bet on you every single fucking week, and every
bad.
single fucking week
This is
you have
bad.
been a disappointment to me. Now, I
Please
love
send
you.
this man a shirt or a
Yeah,
hat.
Yeah,
or
signed
send
preferably
us
by
some
Tony Stewart,
passes,
probably. Yeah.
or send me a pit pass to Bristol this year because I'm getting made fun of for not going. All right, one of that. It could be any of
And
those.
it's the Bristol night race.
Thank you.
Yeah, not the
Yep.
Easter race.
Yep. Honestly, it's my pick just because I'm going with the 14. I have no idea who's actually good at road courses or anything like that, but
So
I'm gonna stay with
on
my boy.
on Trevor's point, I want to say this: that 15 car that Jensen's going to be in, not going to be a good car. I
Well,
mean,
I know
it's
it's
a
not gonna be a
Rick
good
Ware
car.
built by SHR, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Well, I
not
don't
Kevin
know.
Harvick
So
in it, so I don't.
Inside joke. Where's
it
Cody
is going to
Ware?
be an SHR car. I guarantee you that's going to be a quick car because of who it is and who's driving it.
You think they
So
tried to upgrade
do
the
we?
parts just for him this week?
I guarantee you
Oh,
they
Yeah.
just take
they're gonna
they
try
take a
something like
Harvick
that.
car and just put a slap of 15 on
Do,
it.
do we want to
Nice.
do we want to take the bets on whether or not Josh Williams is going to be allowed to at least commentate the Xfinity race since he's suspended?
So with the suspension, is he even allowed at the actual
I
event?
don't think he's allowed at the
Yeah.
facility at
I think the
all.
real thing we need to talk about is
By the way,
does he win mullet of the year?
Oh,
yes.
100%.
That's
Yeah,
what I
God,
think we
yes.
need to talk about. Who cares if
Yeah.
he's broadcasting?
So
Uh,
my race pick or two, I'm gonna take two. I'm gonna take a semi dark horse in
It's Briscoe.
Almendinger.
okay, the dinger, yeah.
Okay. All right.
He's got to not wreck a car for the
Yeah, he's
first
gonna
time
not
this
wreck
year.
somebody
And
to do it. And
Facts.
then one of the Hendrick guys, man. I mean, you could do Larson, Byron, or Bowman. Either of those three. I think one of the Hendrick cars. Well, even Taylor. I mean, I think any of the Hendrick drivers have a great chance to win it just because
so,
of all the experience they have in
do
the
we
test.
want to? Do we want to talk about Bowman is typically on a different planet than the rest of his teammates? I mean, it's been tough. I know he was
I
first in
like
points
Bowman.
before the penalty, and I like Bowman. I'm a proud Bowman shirt
Is he
owner. Um,
Bowman or
No,
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 Bowman.
Billy
I
no
mean,
Beaver?
cap.
Bowman was.
Get the shirt.
You look at Vegas and California. I mean, he's running 17th while the other ones are running top three, like 1, 2, 3. So that's what I'm basing it off of. I mean, the guy is great. I think has a chance anywhere, but he's got to make sure that this crew chief is working out. But yeah, I think at COTA, I do like the pick that Trevor just made.
So all right, so I'm gonna go off a two. I'll say two as well. So my number one actually is someone who's on a brand new team this year. Someone that's shown a lot of speed. I think someone that's also on a revenge tour this year, you know. So my number one pick is
I
Kyle
didn't know
Busch.
I had. Oh.
Oh Jesus!
I didn't know I was racing at COTA.
You are
So
Wednesday.
Kyle Busch, and then obviously I have to go with the man I'm putting the money on. I gotta go with Jordan Taylor. Like you go from the history of the whole Taylor family, you know, IMSA through and through, road course racer in his blood. You know, he's won the Rolex. He's won basically every major championship
Sports
out there,
car.
really
Yeah.
for you know, for road course racing. But you know, this is gonna be a different animal for him. I know that with the the garage was it 64, is it called
Garage 91,
91,
something
garage
like that. Yeah.
91.
So
uh
close, Nick.
It's
it
not
was
garage
it
90.
was a number, it was
It's
a
project
number.
91.
This is Garage
You're
but
talking
but
about
74.
but but no,
oh,
no.
you're talking about Hendrix thing. Hendrix thing's
Yeah,
garage 56.
50, oh, 50. I see, I was
I
close,
thought you
I
were talking
was
about
close.
Trackhouse.
No, no.
I mean, you're still
So
pretty far away, depending
So
upon the
I
scale,
I
though.
Yeah,
did I
right.
do know they did come out and say like the cars are somewhat similar, somewhat totally different based on its totally road course spec. Obviously, the next gen car they don't really do that much different to it for road courses other than obviously like wet tires. Which, if by some miracle it rains on Sunday,
Oh,
you
please
are
let it
going
rain.
to see Taylor, Raikkonen,
Yep.
Jensen if he's not in a goddamn wreck, you know, because this guy I don't know,
Here we are.
or even if his car can even make it on power, you know. But I think those are the only three um road course guys that are actually coming into this race, right? For
Yeah.
um
Yeah, road course specific.
Okay.
Well, no, Connor Daly, but I mean that's IndyCar. He did some oval
Yeah, I don't really.
stuff, and then he's going to be in a car
Yeah.
that's going to be 70 miles per hour off pace.
Yeah, I gotta go with Bush
Um,
and Taylor.
so I think obviously I took Taylor on a bet. I hate to even call this a dark horse, but I'm going to go with Mi Amigo. Guy
Suarez.
was fast. Guy was faster last year.
Suarez.
Opted to stay out, try to win the stage.
Is that racial?
What?
No, he says it all the
No.
time.
Yeah. No, he calls everybody mi amigo. So just the biggest thing is he tried to win the stage last year. I'm applaud him for that. But man, they've got to have a better situation. Obviously this year no stage break, so he's not gonna have to worry about that restart. But hopefully they get there with the right plan. But man, I think that 99 car has a real good chance this week.
No, Suarez is a good pick. He's actually his only career wins came at Sonoma, which is also another road course. So he is also road course bred through and through. Because down in Mexico, all they really have
There it
is road
is.
courses.
There it
Speaking
is.
There it
speaking
is.
of Mexico,
Is that your native?
it's my native
There it
land.
is.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We can edit all this. It's fine.
Yeah.
Anyway, so speaking of Mexico, I think I may get this wrong. I may get this wrong. But NASCAR did it was either a Mexican or their Brazilian league just started this past week or this week it's starting.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I thought you were about to make a plug for Pacifico, which I would like to plug right
Oh
here
god.
while
Sponsor our
we're
podcast.
here. Might as well. Dude, I bet we could get a pretty good plug. It's the beer of
Yeah.
champions,
Never
really.
know, really.
Daytona. What's this? Oh, sorry, my fault. My fault. Talladega winners, right there on the can.
There it
You can't
is.
see it because I have a shitty camera, but it's right
Yeah,
there on the
that's
bottom.
definitely blurred out.
In
Definitely
in
So
definitely known
in
as a
the Indy
can.
500 champ.
So,
I
so
just
boys, I think coming
Yeah, I
up
think
on
that's
about that time to wrap it, huh?
yeah.
It's a
Yeah,
good
no, no,
first
no.
episode. We
Yeah.
hopefully got plenty
it's a
of
great
people listening.
episode.
No, yeah, so
I
I
hope
mean,
that
everyone be on the lookout for. I know we only have three admins left in here. Kevin was in here, but the you guys haven't met Grant or Rob yet,
Rob,
I
God,
mean,
when Rob
thanks
gets
to
here,
yeah,
Yeah.
that's gonna be another story. Can't wait to hear all about he's just, the best there is, plain and simple. He pisses excellence, blah blah
here's
blah, Ricky Bobby.
here's the thing. Here's the thing the viewers need to know is I'm basically Rob, except I'm about 40 pounds lighter, and
I,
I only have
you
one
can,
cat
And
probably
instead
about
of
more.
two.
12
Only
and about
one cat.
12 less race wins.
Yeah, it's about
yeesh.
12 less. It's about 12 less. I don't want to. We'll have to check
Hold on, how
the
many
trophy
we have?
case.
There's 10 combined wins in this chat, and if we eliminated two people, we'd still have 8, right?
Yeah.
Hey, we
Yeah,
could
so hey
also
Bennett, thanks
say.
for coming on the podcast, bro. I
So
really
here's it.
appreciate you being here.
The podcast.
The
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 podcast.
the
podcast.
podcast.
Here, you gotta
Perfect.
go.
Loved it.
All right, everybody, we're signing off. Nick's gotta go park his car.
Yeah, gotta go
Yeah, the
pocket
little
car,
pockets guy.
Nick.
Uh,
Yeah,
Pocket car.
yeah.
All
all
right.
right.
Same time
Well,
next week, though. You
yeah, same time
assholes.
next week. Let's get here and let's
Yeah.
have some fun with it.
Hey,
Uh,
thanks
for
guys for
everyone
having
listening
me.
really quick, we may not be verified on Apple yet, so you might be listening to the first time on I think it's called Buzzsprout or something like that. But again, thanks for tuning in. Justice, Bennett, Trevor, always appreciate you guys coming on here. Always enjoy racing with you guys, and can't keep the episodes coming.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right. Peace.
Later.